What's up guys, David Falla here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another tutorial. On today's tutorial, we're going to be doing a blowout or taper with curly hair on top. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna create our first guideline using our wall detailers. In this case, I don't wanna do the taper too high. I'm gonna keep it like a low taper. This is what we do here in Jersey where I'm at. In some places you might do the tapers a little bit higher, but in Jersey tapers are for the most part low tapers, right? So now we are shaping up the sideburn, and the reason is because once the sideburn is shaped up, it's a lot easier to see what area you're working with, so it makes it a lot easier to create the taper. Now we're gonna go ahead and use our wall seniors, open up the lever and create a small guide. How I said, I want to keep the fade tight, low, so I don't want to go too high, so we're going to do open lever, and then we're going to shape the bottom of the fade just kind of how you would do any other fade, just this one is going to be a lot tighter because we're trying to keep it in a smaller section. Now we're going to start fading. We're going to go ahead and start with the lever open, and we're going to start closing that lever little by little until that line is completely erased. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and create another guide. This is going to be with the number 1 lever open, and then we're going to go ahead and start closing that lever to start blending that one into the half that we created on the first step. And we're going to follow pretty much the same steps that we usually do when we create fades. I've shown you guys many steps on how to do it. This is just I will say the easiest for a lot of people, which is create the guides and then start erasing them right away. Right now we're using the half guard or the 0.5 guard or the 1/16 guard, however you want to call it, and this is going to blend between that one guard and the half that we created at the beginning. Okay, now that we are done with the side, we're going to go ahead and start doing the taper on the back. Usually the same thing will be applied. If the sides are like a low taper, the back will be a low taper as well. Sometimes you can mix them up. You can do the taper on the back a little bit higher and then the sides lower. You can go high both sides as well if you want to. In this case, we're trying to do the back kind of like medium and the sides low. So we're going to follow the same steps. We create a guide with a trimmer, and then we use the shaver to shave up the bottom, and now we're using the machine lever open to create the next guide. This is gonna have, I would say, like a finger between the first guide and the second guide, and then we're going to go ahead and start fading that line right away using open lever, and then start closing the lever little by little. In this case, we're going to create a nice transition from the top to the fade. So in this case, we're going to use a number 4, and how you can see, I'm using like a flick out motion, kind of like a C motion, just because if you think about it, this haircut kind of has that C motion since it's going to be very round on top and kind of tapers on the back and on the sides. So we're going to use a C motion to kind of create that look. In this case, I'm using a number 4. Then now I'm using a number 2, and how you can see, I'm not going as high anymore. I'm keeping the fade a little bit now lower, but I'm still using the same motion to continue creating the shape, and at the same time start blending that 2 into the half. Okay, now we're using a number 1 lever open, and we're gonna continue blending that 2 into the half. And once we are done with this step, we're gonna continue closing that lever little by little until it's fully closed. And that's how you do a fade. You go step by step. If you are more experienced, you can skip a little bit of those steps, but how I said at the beginning, you need to make sure that you are following step by step, just to make sure that you are not complicating yourself. If you're experienced, you might want to do haircuts a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, so skipping a couple of those steps is definitely gonna help a lot. Okay, now I'm going to shape up the client, and the reason is because I like to frame the haircut before I do any detailing. The reason is because the shape up is going to show you if there's any imperfections or anything that is out of place. Remember that when you frame anything, right, if there's anything that doesn't go well, the frame is definitely going to show it. So that's what the shape up really is. And it's very important if you are a beginner barber and you are trying to better your haircuts. I would recommend you to, once you're done with the fade, shape up the client and then look in the mirror and see if there's anything that once it's already shaped up that doesn't look into place, so then you can fix it. Now I'm using the razor, so I'm being very careful to stretch the skin. I did apply a hot towel, I did apply shape gel, so it's very important that you make the shape part very comfortable for your client. In this case, my client is a kid, so it's obviously I need to make sure that I'm extra careful what I'm doing and the skin is extra hydrated before and I can actually do the shape. This is extremely important for me. It's not just about the haircut, it's also about the experience of the client while they're in the chair. And I think that's something that some barbers are missing now, is they having a nice experience for the clients, because those are the clients that are going to come back, and those are the clients that are going to pay you more, because it's not just the haircut they're getting a very comfortable and relaxing experience. So now I'm just going against the grain in the shape up just to make sure I make it a little bit sharper. But again, remember that the lines were created with the trimmer, and that's literally how you want to keep them. So now I'm gonna wet the hair because he has curly hair. He has very awesome hair. I'm gonna wet the hair. I'm gonna apply a little bit of gel just because it's wet. I want that wet look, and I think it's looking pretty awesome. I'm gonna show you guys how he looked before the haircut, because sometimes when we watch a tutorial, we forget how the client looked at the beginning. Completely different, the shape was there because I cut it last time, but look at the difference now. It's like, it looks amazing. He looks super fresh. Everything is very sharp. The top is very nice with the curls. The shape goes with the head. The shape of the haircut goes with the head, so that's very important as well. The fade is very nice, very nicely done. The lines are sharp. That's exactly what the client was looking for and when I was looking for my work. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learn. If you like, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.